This is going to be a reading on how your soul been wronged in this lifetime. This is going to be pile 1. The Santa Marta Tarot. This is going to be pile 2. Tarot del Toro. This is going to be pile 3. The Mother Peace Tarot deck. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the Santa Marta Tarot, this is going to be your reading on how your soul been wronged this lifetime. How has your soul been wronged? And let's see. Look at these cards. Spirit, tell me about how pile 1 been wrong in this lifetime. Tell me about how pile 1 been wrong this lifetime. Okay. We have King of Swords in reverse. That's funny because I just showed you this card. A lot of people probably just were really cold to you, or really distant or closed off or judgmental or had this wall up around you. You also got 3 of Pentacles. So there's this energy where people weren't putting the proper work in to themselves. They weren't putting the proper work in to their relationship with you either. And they just didn't cultivate any wisdom, any proper deeds. And it's like they're sitting here, they're wondering why nothing good has come out of their relationship with you when they've done nothing to change y'all's relationship. It's like relationships have been really one-sided for you before, to where you felt like you were trying really hard, but somehow the other person was doing absolutely nothing in return. Like you've had to sort of pull all your weight in terms of relationships. And I'm getting these were like relationships you were stuck with, like you weren't really in a position where you could get out of them. So it's probably like family relationships for some of you. We have Knight of Swords reverse. I'm getting like a lot of people are, I don't know, they project their sense of shame onto you. It's like the things that they're shameful about within themselves, they will pick at those things about you or expect you to hurt them in the same way. It's just like they project those things that they feel shameful about onto you. Let's see what else for pile 1. What else for pile 1? We got 8 of Cups in reverse. So you've had to deal with a lot of immature people, like people who something small would happen, like something easily forgivable, or like not even really a mistake. It was literally just something so small and insignificant. And it's like people would hold it against you and never move on about it and like keep bringing it up. Or maybe like there are people in your life who like couldn't move on from you or couldn't move on from something else, and they got mad at you for it. Like they were putting their emotional burdens onto you because of things that they couldn't move on from. Give me one more card. We have Eight of Swords in reverse. So I'm getting this Eight of Swords is something you've seen a lot of. Oh, everything in this pile is reversed. Oh my god. Yeah, you've really been wronged, pile one. But anyway, Eight of Swords in reverse is something you've seen a lot of, is like people who are completely free to make a different choice, who aren't stuck at all in their situation, who have the option to have an open mind, choose not to do so. It's like they clearly could. They've been given many opportunities to. But they don't. And this has come back on you. Because maybe you've like tried to help these people. Maybe you were one of these opportunities where you like, maybe you gave these people opportunities of just trying to lend them a helping hand. And it's like they would slap your hand away or something. It's like they would take offense to you trying to help them, or the insinuation that they were even ever in the wrong and that they aren't always right all the time. It's like maybe you've dealt with a lot of narcissists in your life that just couldn't fathom the fact that they are the reason, that they can't get along with other people, that they don't try. They deliberately just openly judge people and are closed-minded like that, and expect other people to cater to their needs, instead of trying to work with other people. So you've had to deal with a lot of difficult people who, I'm just hearing spoiled brats. Like you've been surrounded by a lot of spoiled brats. And maybe you get a lot of drama or gossip in your ear. Maybe there's just a lot of, I keep hearing like birds chirping really loudly in my ear, like not adult birds, but tiny birds, like needy birds. And it's just this constant noise, this just unnecessary overthinking and things that don't really matter in the long run. It's like maybe you had a lot of stuff already piled up on your shoulders, and people would just add more onto there. Like I literally just saw a vision of Cinderella in my head of just like she's carrying wood on her back, and then her stepsisters just throw a bunch of more wood on her back. It's just like, oh, you can take care of this. It's like people would undermine you. People would see you as a stepping stool. Almost like they would just see you as useful. They didn't really like think about you as a person. Or how things would affect you as a person. Maybe you had to deal with that a lot. I haven't read much of this Knight of Swords energy though. Let's check this out. So what I'm getting is like These people would be so mean to you, expect so much out of you in the relationship, while also always like putting their emotional stuff onto you and never respecting your emotional boundaries, but always expecting you to adhere to their ridiculous boundaries of like overstepping and stuff. But then these people would turn around and just like be a crybaby and be like, oh, my life is so hard, or I'm so hard on you, I don't know how I could be so toxic to you, or just like they would completely switch up. And it's like they know that they're not stable, they know that they're a bad person, they know that they're cold, they know that they didn't work on their own shit, they know that they're like just a bad authoritative figure, they don't have good authority in their own life, they aren't good at setting stable boundaries for themselves or for other people. And it's like they'll admit this all to you, all crying and shit. Or maybe they're not even admitting it to you, but they're just crying and sobbing about how much their life sucks, and it just becomes apparent to you that they are aware of their own sufferings, but they don't do anything about it. I don't know, and it's just so annoying to you, because then you're just sitting there like having to baby them. Like, I'm really getting, for a majority of you, this is like a parent-child thing where like you had to literally be the parent for your parent. But for others of you, this is literally just like friendships and relationships where people would treat you like you're their stability or you're their authority. And they'll switch from being like, oh, I'm a badass individual, I'm a bad boy, I'm a bad girl, I can do whatever I want, I'm rebellious. And then they'll go back to like being a crybaby and being like, oh, I need somebody to do this all for me because I can't do anything myself, and I know this and I don't do anything about it. It's just teenager vibes, like immature teenager vibes. You've had to deal with a lot of people with parental trauma that they were like projecting that onto you and not working on their own shadow work, not working on their own trauma. A lot of relationships in your life have ended because you've had to just walk away from that energy, and these people continue to blame you, continue not to move on with this Eight of Cups reverse, because they continue to just blame you and be like, oh, well, pile one was supposed to be my stability. Pile one just ripped my stability away from me. So just selfish people who just, what's the word? Assuming? I forgot what the word for it was, but just assuming everything in the room is just yours, or everything is about you. So, I guess just let's get one more card. We have Eight of Pentacles reversed. So what's interesting, we have 888 here. We have 888 on the cards. So yeah, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. All in reversed. Still. But we got 888. So maybe the ways your soul has been wronged are very significant in your life, very significant to your life path, or how, or like you are not going to be able to get any healing done until you address these issues, basically, because they're very significant to your life and are always gonna show up in your life that way, daily pretty much. But 888 also like infinity, so just infinite pain. You've like had to experience really deep, harsh, intense pain, and that's how your soul has been wronged. Really, it's just like this imbalance, this karmic injustice of like an influx of pain that you didn't deserve, but was just constant. It was constant. And with this Eight of Pentacles, you had to make do with this lack of abundance. You had to make do with those horrible situations. You had to just live with it. And that's also how your soul has been wronged, is like you didn't really get a chance to get out of it, or you didn't really, you were like in this position where like maybe you were being manipulated, maybe it was because they were family, maybe it was because you were trapped. Like there's this energy where you were in this position where you couldn't get out of these bad situations. You just had to deal with it. Maybe you were trying to survive. Maybe you were in a position where you had to worry about money and things like that, and you couldn't focus on your emotional health. And I'm also hearing you were taken advantage of. Your soul has been wrong because people saw you in such a low place in your life, and they took advantage of you. They took advantage of all that pain they saw inside you and thought, oh, this is a person I can kick around. It's like this energy where, like, if you see somebody beating up a weak, old, clearly helpless, hasn't done anything wrong, homeless person just on the street who like literally has nothing, these people are just beating them up for sport. Like, that's the kind of energy. That's how bad your soul been wrong. It's just unnecessary, brutal, intense, and when you're already in a place of like lack of abundance. I guess I'll just pull a card on like how that has formed your strength. Spirit, how has this formed power and strength? Give me one card on where this has formed power and strength. We have Nine of Swords. I feel like you've allowed yourself to acknowledge the fact that you deserve better. Like, maybe you would ignore the fact that you were in pain because you weren't in any position to be acknowledging your own pain at the time. But you've grown in a way to where now you can validate your own pain, whereas people invalidated it, now you can validate that for yourself. And is this energy where people around you see you as selfish for doing this? Because maybe karmically, by healing yourself, you have to be a bitch. You have to be like talking about your pain. You have to be like talking about those negative things that people don't want to talk about. And I don't know. You're also allowing yourself to like overthink, basically, because Nine of Swords is like overthinking. But in this case of like how this has been your strength, it's like, first of all of these cards of your pain are in reverse, but this card is upright. So it's like you are changing something. You're changing your life significantly by feeding into that strength, by letting yourself be overthinking, by letting yourself be like, I feel like I'm being hurt, I feel like I deserve better, by being like second guessing is what I'm trying to say. Like yeah, you're meant to have like this Justice Libra energy of like bringing judgment to things, because you're meant to be that person who second guesses. You're meant to be that person who's like, are we thinking about the other option here? I keep hearing like you're not blind, like maybe you really see through people's bullshit. You immediately catch on if somebody's trying to manipulate you or like harm you in any way. It's like you've been through it before, so you know at this point. And like, unfortunately, that like trauma you went through kind of made you hyper aware of things like that. And that has negatively affected you, but on the flip side of that, it has caused you strength because you see a lot of things that you didn't see before in other people. And you can also more easier look out for yourself and tell before it happens when somebody's gonna hurt you, so you can prevent that from happening. High pile 2. You chose Tarot del Toro. This is gonna be a reading on how your soul been wrong this life. Let's just hop right into it, I guess. Spirit, let me know the energies. Let me know what's going on. Let me align with pile 2, please. How pile 2 been wrong this life? How pile 2 been wrong this life? How pile 2 soul been wrong? I keep hearing not wanting to admit their wrongs. Maybe you've dealt with a lot of people who wouldn't admit that they were in the wrong or did you wrong but then never admitted to it or never owned up to it. I'm also hearing like literally anyone who's ever done you wrong has ended up regretting it, but also really doesn't want to own up to it. Like really does not want to admit that they did that. So yeah, that's weird and annoying. Yeah. Your soul been wronged because people would wrong you. You would see through it. You would you're intuitive. You would know. You would figure it out without evidence. You would just know. You would catch on immediately. And then they would act like you were crazy. They'd be like, you think I would do this to you? You think that about me? Is that what you really think about me? Meanwhile, in their head, they're like, oh, fuck. How'd they know? How'd they find out? Who said something? Who screenshotted whatever? It's just like, they had their evidence packed tight. You didn't need no evidence. You just knew, bro. Oh, yeah. People were scared because the devil in reverse here, they knew that you knew. They knew that you were in the right. They knew that your anger was justified. But they didn't want to be caught. They didn't want to be seen as someone other than what they were like pretending to be. It's like maybe you dealt with a lot of people who put on this fake mask of like the sun being a good, loving person, a nurturing person, someone really in touch with their inner child. Maybe this person really like acts fake, toxic positivity vibes. And like, I don't know. Your presence would threaten people's masks for some reason. And it's like, people would take that out on you. Like, people would try to be disturbing your peace, disturbing your inner child, disturbing your happiness, your sunlight, because they felt threatened by it. Yeah. You've dealt with a lot of people who saw you as competition. They were like, Pal 2 is trying to outshine me. Pal 2 is trying to make me jealous. Pal 2 is trying to push me down. All you were ever doing is being yourself, the sun. You were just going with your inner child. But everybody saw you as competition. So they were doing all these things to you and acting rude to you or talking about you or whatever they were doing. And you didn't know why, because you didn't know what you did to them. You never did anything to these people, but they perceived you in a way that you had malicious intent towards them because they were jealous of you. They were jealous of your shine, I'm hearing. Like, I keep hearing your shine. Like a huge part of why your soul has been wronged in this lifetime is people wanting to dim your light or just straight up shut it off and straight up just shut it off. Like, a lot of people unhappy with you, just expressing this unhappiness with you. Like, they were unhappy about themselves, unhappy about their lives in general, and they were just spewing this on you, and you were receiving all this unhappiness from everybody. Maybe you were like, maybe people were talking about you or like spreading rumors about you, and then they like got mad at you for it and were like picking on you and stuff for it. When meanwhile those rumors weren't even true. but it ended up completely ruining your social life. I'm hearing, I just saw the Lovers in reverse, but then it went back in the deck. So some ex who's trying to stay hidden, some ex from your past is like been saying shit about you or talking about you, or they know that they wronged you, but they're like trying to make it seem like you're the bad guy. Like since the beginning, the whole problem was that they were trying to make you seem like the bad guy from the beginning, but they're still trying to do that. And that's how your soul has been wronged, is like people so easily fall into their victim complex with you. They fall into their victim complex karmic cycles and start feeding their own delusions that like, oh, pile 2 is the reason everything's wrong in my life. Pile 2 is the reason I had this trauma go on. Pile 2 is a narcissist. Pile 2 is this. Pile 2 is that. It's like, it's so easy for you to just, it's so easy for people to just put all of their problems onto you, or just blame you, or like, maybe not even blame you, but just talk up shit about you just to release all of their pent-up anger about shit in their life. Maybe they weren't even talking shit. Maybe they're being like this straight to your face. King of Blades here. People are just cold to you. They don't really care to like be fair or just, or actually think about both sides of the story. They're just like, I'm in a position where I can make someone feel like shit, where I feel better because I made someone feel like shit, so I'm just going to do that. It's like people wanted to be all righteous and be like, oh, I heard all these rumors about pile 2. Let's go bully them or whatever. I don't know why I keep hearing things about rumors, but maybe you've had like a lot of rumors been spread about you, or maybe a specific rumor about you was like extremely major and really affected your personal life, and that was how your soul has been wrong, because it was probably it was founded on nothing. These rumors are founded on absolutely nothing, but it could have significantly affected you whether they were true or not. All right, let's get some tangible cards here. Three cards, please, for pile 2. 3 cards, please, for pile 2. Three cards, please, for pile 2. We have the High Priestess. We have the 7 of Coins. And then we have the Sun. How your soul been wronged is that people will realize that they did you wrong. People will realize how much they hurt you, pile 2. And then they'll sit there hemming and hawing about it and being like, oh, this sucks for me, or like, oh, well, pile 2 is actually kind of a bad person in some ways, so it's sort of justified. Like, instead of actually feeling bad about it, they'll be like, ugh, pile 2 just wanted me to feel bad. Or pile 2 is just narcissists, just like, they'll go between like thinking that, oh yeah, I did hurt pile 2, that is true, but then they'll be like, but pile 2 also hurt me in this way, so it's kind of justified. Like, they can't just own up to it. They have to still be mad at you for it, you know? They can't just actually forgive you. They have to, like, hold grudges and hang on to things. I keep, with the Sun here, how your soul been wrong, because people trying to dim your inner child or push down your inner child. It's like when you try to express your inner child, people get mad at you, or people are like, stop being disruptive, or people are like jealous of you and like just snap at you for no reason. or they ignore you, or they straight up just tell you your ideas are stupid, or what you're saying, talking about is stupid, or like how you're acting is stupid, and you're just acting like a child, and it's like so dumb. Just undermining you, really, but undermining your inner child. And making you feel wrong for wanting to express that side of yourself. That's how your soul has been wronged. With the Seven of Pentacles, I'm hearing the seeds that have been planted in you. So whether they knew it or not, all the people who hurt you were very significant people in your life. Or they hurt you in a very significant way. And that they planted a seed in you that is never going to like go away. They planted seed in your subconscious by acting that way towards you, to forever sort of be like watching out for that kind of thing. And it's good that you're going to be protecting yourself in those ways that you didn't know you needed. But it's like all these negative parts of people have just been planted into you because they felt the need to project onto you. And it's just you've had to accumulate all of people's darkness over your life. And that is how your soul has been wronged, is like over time, like you just gathered more and more of people's darkness and people's like projections onto you, and it just weighs down on your soul. And there's nothing you could have ever really done about it because you didn't do anything wrong. It was just you've always had to deal with that, with people and their negative thought patterns and behaviors, their negative actions, and how that has negatively harmed you and your mind and your soul. Yeah. You get weighed down by other people not changing their karmic patterns. And then we have High Priestess here, which wanted to come out at the beginning of the reading too. So just like you're very maybe intuitive or emotionally empathic or something. And so throughout all of this, you've like known that people could be better. You've known the whole time that it so easily could have been better for you. But the people around you just chose not to change, just chose to project their darkness onto you. And it's like, you're intuitive, so you see that. You see people's egos like that, and you understand that it is because of their egos, and not that it's the universe trying to get you. You understand that, you know, some people are just children, and they are stuck in their own egos. And that's also kind of how it weighs down on your soul, is because you are sort of cursed with like knowing that you can't really like blame it on any one person. You're cursed with like the knowledge of that person's own shadow side, because they would constantly project their shadow side onto you. So you had a clear vision of what it was. And you are cursed with the knowledge of why that shadow side, that person's shadow side, made them want to hurt you. Like, it's like you're really intuitive and really empathic, and it weighs down on your soul because you can see clearly why those things happen in the larger, in the grand scheme of things. But you know, there's nothing you can really do about it. Like, there's nothing you could have really done about it. It's just like, you can only set boundaries for yourself. And that's why I keep trying to say that, like, it's harder for you and it weighs down on your soul way more because you're so sensitive to emotional things and you're so empathic that it hurts you to have to, like, see all those people's shadow sides and see like the darkness within them that made them hurt other people. And like the whole time you were seeing that truth within them, you were seeing that light within them while they were hurting you, while they were actively hurting you. And you had to deal with knowing that they are going to regret that later on while they are actively hurting you. So like that's also how your soul has been wronged, is like knowing how things are going to turn out in the end, but still having to see things play out in such a harmful but unnecessary way. Let's get a card on how this has developed your strength. Just one card. So this card, the World, popped out at the very beginning, at the very, very beginning of this reading. So I'm hearing coming full circle. This is the World card, so they're saying come full circle. You see how things come full circle. You see the world for what it really is. You see that you can only let the world change by letting it change on its like own, and by being yourself and completing your own world and defining what the world means to you so you can express that out to other people. You can't change other people is what you've learned. And you've also learned that because things come full circle, those people who wronged you in the past are going to end up keep coming back to their own pain, their own shadow side, until they are able to find wholeness within themselves. So that has helped you be able to move on from a lot of pain inside you. And with the World here, I keep hearing completeness, wholeness, healing. Like you have grown so much, and through all this pain, you found the strength to believe that you deserve healing for yourself, and love yourself enough to think that you are perfect on your own the way you are, and that and to recognize how much more you deserved, like that part of you that was hurt so many times by other people. I'm hearing you're a master of your own world, so maybe a lot of the things you try to manifest just easily come to you. You're very abundant, and strength comes to you easily because you are the world. You bring this fortune into your world. You don't take it from the world around you. You don't feel like you need something more from the world. You find that wholeness within yourself. That's how you have grown to this strength, is like you feel like you are the master of your own universe, because anything you want, you find it within you, and you express that out into the world on your own. You chose Mother Peace. Mother Peace. This can be a reading how your soul been wronged in this life. Okay. Spirit, align me with Pile 3 vibration. Align me with Pile 3 timeline, ancestors, spirit guides, higher self, past self, inner child, shadow self. Make sure to give me messages for everyone who watching this pile, and to make the messages clear as possible, only give me messages that will be important to my viewers who align with Pile 3. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Let's get into this reading. How have you been wronged in this life, Pile 3? How have you been wronged? How has your soul been wronged? Your soul. Your soul. I'm serious, bro. Your soul. Like, when your soul is wronged, your mind feels it, your body feels it, the world around you feels it. So let's see. We got 2 of Cups. We got to a cup. It's got Priestess a disc. We have the World. We have the Magician. There's a lot to unpack here. Spirit is saying if you aren't already taking therapy, that might be something that would be good for you, just because you have a lot of things you would be better off unpacking with someone, like a trained professional. Let's see. You might know someone who wore leopard print, who wore just a lot of animal skin type clothing, who did you wrong, who was maybe very performative in some way, or they were lying or putting on a mask about something. It's like they should have been there for you, but instead they were trying to make gains with their money or with their popularity. They could have chosen someone else over you. And what I'm hearing is like it was over petty bullshit. It was literally over petty bullshit. So this leopard print person could have extremely hurt you, wronged your soul. We got Two of Cups relationship, so could have had just some significant relationships, romantic relationships in your life that hurt you. Could have had some flighty people in your relationships who weren't caring for your best interest, and they hurt you in a way that was a shock to the system, is what I'm hearing. It's like maybe you could have been naive about love before, but then it's like these people didn't even hesitate to stab you in the heart, even though you were so young to love. You were so new to it. Someone could have taken advantage of the fact that you were new to love. Someone could have tried to take advantage of your inner child. I'm hearing that like you had to dissociate or like be closed off or put really extreme walls up around some people because maybe you were being provoked really badly, and that's how your soul has been wronged. It's just like how deep you had to go into dissociation or how often. This could have had something to do with your romantic relationships. You had an abusive spouse or partner. I'm so sorry for anyone who's had to go through that, by the way. It's just intimacy paired with malicious intent it's horrible and it's terrifying and it's traumatic to like show someone that part of yourself only for it to end up that person uses that against you and takes advantage of your vulnerability and your trust. This could have even been over a long period of time. Like for those, this was a spouse. This could have been over a long period of time that this person manipulated your emotions, is what I'm hearing. Like they deliberately manipulated your emotions over a course of a few years. And it's like the whole time they were hiding their true self or something. God damn. Meanwhile, you could have really admired or respected this person or thought that they were from another whole nother world, a whole nother planet. You thought they might have been really mystical, but I'm hearing they took something from you. This person could have had really nice hair, or really like long or big hair, very significant hair. But I'm hearing they took something from you. Like, even though this is the Two of Cups, I'm feeling this energy where like a cup was taken. There's like an imbalance here. Maybe how your soul's been wronged is like all of your relationships have sort of ended up you getting hurt. Like, it's like you try really hard in relationships and you really are doing the shadow work and the inner healing and loving yourself and stuff like that, and then you just end up with the wrong people and you keep getting hurt in relationships. Or you keep getting your love taken advantage of, is what I'm hearing of. You could have had a family member or just a guardian, authoritative figure, or older person who you looked up to and respected and trusted, of some sort, who, I'm hearing for some of you, either neglected you, or neglected important needs, creative needs about you. For others of you, they deliberately hurt you or manipulated you, like deliberately hurt you. Like, this person was in a position of authority and basically they had more wisdom than you, and they were aware of your naivety, naivety, and they took advantage of you or hurt you in some way. For others of you, this specific few of you, this person stalked your social media and found out information about you to use against you or manipulate you, or get you to do something that they wanted, maybe to stay in their lives. This could have been some legal stuff where this person manipulated you to stay in their lives or have custody over you. That was just for a few of you. But either way, this older person who had an influence over you and they knew it really significantly hurt you, and that had a deep impact on your soul. Whether this was a male or female, this person has toxic feminine energy. Their masculine side is fine, but their feminine side is extremely toxic, extremely unhealthy, extremely unwell and sick. They could have been trying to kill off that feminine part of you. Like, literally, they hated that feminine part of you. That's only for some of you, if you align with that toxic femininity. For some of you, your soul has been wronged. You could have been famous or really popular, and you could have had some trauma that had to do with having a lot of people digging into your private life or harassing you in public, or maybe it wasn't even anything direct or intentional, but you felt really alone in your community, and you felt like people were did not have good intentions towards you behind your back, but would smile at your face, but they would never actually be there for you. Like, there's some sort of trauma associated with your social environment being fake and toxic, and not being able to actually trust anyone or lean on someone for support, and having to look towards yourself for support. You've always had to look towards yourself for support, and that's also how your soul has been wronged. It's like you've always had to lean on yourself for support, and maybe you're sort of afraid to ask for help because of that. And finally, we have the World here. Um, with judgment as clarifier. And look at the little world. Look at that little world right there. It's interesting. With judgment as clarifier. Maybe people would bully you for your body, like your puberty, or your body shape. Maybe people would bully you for your skin color, or the way you dressed, or the way you even just presented yourself. Like, I'm hearing no female should be acting like that. Maybe you really terrify straight men to where it's just like, or aggressively hetero men, or aggressively hetero people, because you're this person who owns who they are, and people be disrespecting you straight to your face, not even behind your back. Like, I'm disgusted with this energy. Like, straight to your face, like, talking about your body, talking about your clothes, not even behind your back, straight to your face, being like, you're ugly, you're dumb, you're never gonna amount to anything. Like, you're straight up laughing at you, laughing at who you are, laughing at your individuality and your authenticity. And you're just calm. You don't care because you know that person's wrong. You know. It's like you have abundance and people are so mad. It's like they want to drag you down for everything. I don't know. It's like this energy where, like, maybe it would be backhanded too. Like, maybe they wouldn't even be directly like bullying you and being like, oh, you're ugly, oh, this and that. It would just be backhanded compliments or backhanded what's the word? Phrases. Like, they would say something and it would sound nice, but then you'd think about it and you'd be like, what the fuck? Is that what they actually meant? And yes, that is what they actually meant. Like, it's like people saw you in the world. They saw how you interact with all these people. You interact with yourself. And how, I don't know, it's like a lot of people like you or something. Because you're so confident with yourself, and it's just like they wanted to bring you down. They wanted to strip that away from you. They wanted to make you feel like you're wrong for that you don't even deserve that happiness or abundance, that you're a disgusting person for expressing yourself in an authentic way. Like, this is some toxic ass nasty shit, judgmental ass shit. Yeah, I'm hearing your soul has been wrong because you weren't allowed to have your own authentic world, your own individuality. It's like every time you would stand up and be in your energy like that, you'd get knocked down. And with judgment here, I'm feeling like this would happen all the time. Like, all the time. This could have been like your social circle, your friends. This could have been your family. This could have been person you were in a relationship with. But it would happen all the time. And it, like, I don't know, it like changed something in you. Like, it deeply affected your soul because it like made you doubt yourself almost. It's like, for some of you, I know you didn't doubt yourself. You just had to deal with it all the time. But for others of you, this could have been like really intimate person who was saying these things about you. So you kind of had to think about what they said because they're like, well, I've showed this person all the deepest parts of me. Maybe they are right. Like, if they've seen the real me, then maybe they know if I'm a bad person. Maybe they would know. And so you actually doubted yourself. Let's see. Let's get one more card on how powerful you've been wrong in this life. One more card. We have the Shaman of Swords. It's like, I'm hearing toxic environment. Like, you're a very beautiful person who thrives in any environment you're in, but it's like the people around you would be like, each person would plant a little bit of poison in your food, just wanting to make you a little bit sick, to make you a little bit less on your vibe, you know? But it's like everyone was doing it. Everyone was putting a little bit of poison in there just to throw your vibe off. And then it's like suddenly you're really sick because everyone has these intentions towards you, and you feel the sickness from all the like tension. And it's like your soul has been wronged from like, it's like you get really emotionally overwhelmed easily. It's like I keep wanting to like go through the motions of puking. Like it just keeps coming and going and going and going and going, and it's like, it's so intense. Like, just like how emotionally overwhelmed you can get. Maybe you get sent a lot of evil eye, and it kind of makes you a little bit weaker. Just because the evil eye is sent by people who are really close to you, so it ends up like they're not saying it to your face, but they're secretly planting seeds in like little things that they say or little things that they do or that they don't do or don't support you with. And then like I keep hearing the word gaslighting. Like you feel like you're going crazy because none of it's direct, but still you feel this sickness, you feel this tension, you feel like something's wrong, and everyone around you is like, why are you acting this way? Why are you acting crazy? Why are you acting like something's wrong? Why are you acting sick? You feel like a crazy person, probably. That's your like soul trauma, is you feel like a crazy person because everyone around you is making you feel that way, literally. They're telling you you're wrong for wanting to break out of this cycle, for wanting to figure out where the sickness is coming from. And it's like everyone's like, well, it's you. Clearly it must be something wrong with you. The source of the sickness is you. And they're just feeding into it. They're making the poison worse, and it's like it's an everyday thing for you. I don't know, like I heard one time this thing like, if you grow up on poison, if you grow up eating poison, you're gonna think real food is bad for you. You're gonna think being healthy is bad for you. So it's like your soul was wronged in that you were taught to like get used to this sick feeling, get used to this feeling of being overwhelmed or being emotionally like having too much on your plate emotionally, having too much issues going on emotionally in your life, that to the point where you just wanted to be sick, and you just had to get used to that. So that's how your soul has been running this life. Let's see. Spirit, give me tarot card on how this has formed Pile 3 strength. How this formed Pile 3. 9 of Wands. Literally 9 of Wands. Literally the card of burdens. The card for having to have strength to carry these 9 wands, knowing you aren't even close to your goal yet, not even close, but having to carry those wands anyway, having to muster the strength. You had no choice but to keep your strength in those situations. Like, what Spirit is telling me is that the way your soul has been wronged has turned you into a person of endurance. You can tolerate a lot of things. You're not the person who snaps easily. not the person who pops off easily, because you've been through a lot of shit, and you know the difference between when something's just immature bullshit and when something actually matters. And even when shit goes down, even when the shit's going down, you're able to hold it together. You're able to hold the burden. Even when everybody else is freaking out and projecting onto you and being like, oh, he shit, and that's what it is, and I'm gonna die, and oh no, my reputation's ruined. Like, you've learned how to be the calm person. You've learned, like, even with all this stuff on your back, even when people continuously piling things on your back, you learned how to just act calm through it. You've learned how to just straight up shoulder the burden. That's your strength. You were literally forced to shoulder that burden. And you've grown into this person who can just, you're looking at someone else who's like, oh my God, suddenly I have all this burden. You're like, first time, man. It's like, you're going to be that person who helps out other people who have to share the same burden that you do, because you've been through it so much. Your strength that you have formed is being able to hold your ground, to still keep a sense of stability and keep a sense of lightheartedness and humor on your face, no matter what you're going through. And you know what? You wear that shit like a crown. You wear those burdens like it's a fucking fashion show or some shit. Like, you make it look good. You make all that hard work and hardship and all that bullshit you have to go through, that you're forced to go through, you make it look good. And people are like, ooh, pile 3 got it going, you know what I mean? But they don't even know. They don't even know the shit you have to go through daily, the stuff that you've been through before and how strong it has made you. Like, Pile 3 Spirit's telling me you're an extremely strong person. This is confirmation that you should never doubt your strength, because you have been around the bend. Like, when I asked what your strength was, how this is forming your strength, I literally got strength. Like, holding yourself up even through unending burden. Like, you're a real one, Pile 3. You can really, you can really get through some hard shit and still be like, okay, well, we gotta keep moving forward because there's nothing else we can do. Like, you're a real one. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, there's something extremely mature about you now, because all the injustice you've been through has taught you to value maturity and being calm and not letting people disturb your peace. That is your strength. Is like, no matter how many burdens people want to unendingly pile on you forever and ever and ever, you still have your peace. That's your strength.